I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lennox is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
It's Tokyo, Feb 11th, 1990. The match for the heavyweight championship is on. The man on the right is Buster Douglas, with a record of 29-4-1. The man on the left is the most feared boxer in boxing history, Mike Tyson, with a record of 37-0. What we're about to witness is the most iconic moment in boxing history.
With back in his heels, doesn't have the good balance. His legs together as Buster's landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big.
For an iconic moment, this fight was not even highly anticipated. Buster was coming in with a record of 29-4-1. He had only won the last 6 fights to get the number 1 contender status to Tyson. Tyson came in with a record of 37-0, having won the last fight in 90 seconds. There was only one punter in Vegas actually who put money on Douglas. The odds were stacked against him with 42-1. And so much so that HBO boxing analysts Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley had written off the fight. They were comparing pets, their own pets pre-match, and they were talking about Tyson's dog during the pre-match. And the disrespect was so much that they were comparing Douglas to a frozen tuna from the Tokyo fish market.
That is so disrespectful, man.
That's just pure shithousery.
Yeah, so not only were the odds stacked against Buster Douglas, his personal life was also like in turmoil at that point. Just 3 weeks prior to the actual fight, his mother had actually passed away. His wife had split up with him. He even had the mother of his children was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he had the flu just the day before he actually fought.
What else could go wrong at that point, right? But Tyson, on the other hand, was busy sleeping. So I think he came to Japan a week before that. And as per reports, he was busy sleeping around the geishas. He was just partying and drinking and having the time of his life.
You were in Japan at the time. Were you involved in parties? And I heard you weren't focused necessarily.
Well, I tell you, I get carried away sometimes. I had some.
But do you think like this was like a thing of like, was it like a matchup of arrogance versus just absolutely going for broke?
Not really, because Tyson had his own demons that he had to fight with. He was going through depression, as per reports. He had split with his longtime trainer Kevin Rooney 18 months before this. Don King, who was his promoter, also the promoter for Thrilla in Manila or Rumble in the Jungle. He was kind of leeching off money off of Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson was not only losing money, his trainer was gone. He had a very public split with his wife, who on national television with Barbara Walters came out and told the world the kind of mental and physical abuse that she had suffered at Tyson's hand.
There's a time when he cannot control his temper, and that's frightening to me or to my mother and to anyone around. He gets out of control, throwing, screaming.
Does he hit you?
He shakes, he pushes, he swings. Sometimes I think he's trying to scare me. People, you say, why do you stay in there? Well, number one, you love the person, and number two, you get accustomed to being treated poorly. So every day, behavior that you would normally not accept becomes everyday behavior. And I woke up and I said, I don't deserve this. I never had this in my life before, and I'm not going to tolerate this.
And so his wife had left him. And just 2 fights ago, Frank Bruno had almost taken him down in the first round itself. And that was kind of showing the cracks in Iron Mike's invincibility had started to show prior to this fight itself.
Yeah, but still, I think he had like reason to be confident because, like you mentioned, right, just the fight before, he won that fight in just 90 seconds
yeah.
itself. So like, and just on top of that, I think the only hope that Douglas had was that he basically had just a 6-inch and like an 11-pound advantage to him.
Yeah. I mean, so the fight starts, right? The fight starts, and just to be clear, Tyson was being dominated by Buster Douglas in the fight. Douglas, by no measure, was a bum. He had fought most of journeymen in his career. He did have one title shot, I think a few fights before this. I think it was for the IBF title, which he lost. But he had not fought anyone of note until that point. But fast forward in the fight to the 8th round, and Tyson took down Douglas with 10 seconds to go in the round. But there's some controversy till this day because the referee had kind of a slow start to the count, and by the time he counted till 9, the bell rang for the round to be over. So there were controversies back then, and still the debate rages that was the referee at fault, and should Mike have won the fight at the end of the 8th round?
Yeah, I think so. That count to 10 was like just arduously long, and I think that debate kind of still rages on.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Douglas basically lives to fight like another round, and then finally in the 10th round, that's when you come back to this moment, which is one of the most iconic moments in boxing history, where Buster Douglas lands this heavy ass punch on Iron Mike Tyson, bringing down one of the GOATs, one of the greatest of all times has just been taken down.
Yeah.
And you even notice in the video like a part where Mike Tyson's mouthpiece kind of flies out of his mouth, and you kind of see him trying to like readjust it back. He feels like a little, you can see almost that he's kind of concussed in this moment, and that's when the ref calls it. Buster Douglas, this guy from nowhere, has come back and taken down one of the GOATs. Iron Mike Tyson, one of the greatest heavy hitters of all time, has just had his ass heavy hit by Buster Douglas.
This was the first time in his career that Mike Tyson had ever gone down in a fight. And the first time he goes down, he loses the fight. So I think this makes it that more special and iconic, seeing the GOAT go down in such an unceremonious fashion. But let's talk about the aftermath of the fight and of this whole the fallout from the fight itself. Buster Douglas would go on to lose the titles to Evander Holyfield, some bum named Evander Holyfield.
You know, that guy.
That guy. 8 months later, in his first ever title defense, and he would go into his first retirement. He would come back, fight a few journeymen, but then retire for good. Mike Tyson, on the other hand, would fight a few more fights before being convicted of rape against Desiree Washington. He would serve jail time, come back, win. I guess it was the IBF title that he came back and won, which he would drop to Evander Holyfield in the first fight. We all know what happened in the rematch. He would bite off his bite his ear, chompy chomperson.
Yeah, he chomps his ears off.
Chomps his ears off. Would get banned from boxing. Would come back, try to make a push against Lennox Lewis. Would lose again. Fight a few more journeymen before going out for good in 2005. And that in itself brought the curtains down on what could have been possibly the greatest boxing career the world had ever seen.
Yeah, and I think that's what really makes this particular moment so iconic, right? Mike Tyson was one of the greatest fighters of all time.
He was.
He is undisputed, and since Lennox Lewis in 99, there hasn't been an undisputed heavyweight champion since.
That's true.
And the thing is, Buster Douglas was not supposed to be the guy who would take him down.
Yeah.
And I think that moment where he gets taken down kind of changed the trajectory of Mike Tyson's career forever. And I think just changed boxing as a sport from that point going forward.
Yeah. We do now have a good bit of boxers coming up, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. But it's just interesting to see how the sport has evolved in the last, it's been 30 years. This year, it's been 30 years since this iconic moment.
Yes, so that was, again, to us, that was one of the most iconic moments in boxing history. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
And make sure to follow us on Halftime Rumors Podcast. We're available on Spotify, Google, and Apple.
Cheers.
I guess it's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Cheerio.